you are settled into a place where the light filters through a lattice of aged linen, painting the quiet air in soft washes of dust motes. There is the faint, sweet, dry scent of aged parchment mixed with the unmistakable, grounding aroma of burnt cedar wood. You can hear only the slow, rhythmic pulse of breath, a distant, almost immeasurable oceanic tide, and the occasional, whisper-soft settling sound of heavy, uninterrupted silence. Chapter 1. The Architecture of Control, the Inner Citadel. Slowly, gently, we begin this journey across the vast, tranquil landscape of thought, navigating toward the enduring quietude that philosophy offers. Our focus initially turns toward a primary, foundational idea, the distinction between what belongs entirely to us and what drifts like mist upon the wind of existence. This separation, this subtle drawing of lines in the architecture of the self, represents the deepest work of self-mastery. One must contemplate the notion of control, not in the grand, dramatic sweeping gestures of sudden change, but in the quiet, minute adjustments of internal perception. We find that the overwhelming majority of the things that touch our lives, the whims of others, the shifts in the market, the unexpected turn of the season, are housed in the external realm, a domain perpetually volatile and inherently outside our jurisdiction. Conversely, there resides a breathtaking pocket of sovereignty, a sanctuary that no external force can breach, a space that Epictetus, whose teachings whispered gently across 2 millennia, advised us to cultivate with unwavering dedication. This inner citadel is composed of our judgments, our intentions, and the deliberate shape of our responses. These are the true pillars of our being. The practice here is less about forceful suppression and more about delicate recognition, a constant, quiet affirmation that ownership resides only within the sphere of our own voluntary assent. It is a gentle rerouting of energy, pulling the vast, panicked attention away from predicting the next crisis and anchoring it firmly into the present moment of choice. Imagine this inner landscape. It is not a fortress built of stone, but one woven entirely of focused attention, constructed particle by careful particle, judgment by careful judgment. By naming the external things, the disappointing result, the careless word, the unpredictable delay, and labeling them as outside the self, we immediately divest them of their power to disturb the fundamental peace. This realization is not a sudden epiphany of brilliance, but rather the slow, steady accumulation of mindful moments, like gathering dew drops into a crystalline pool. It requires us to observe the impulses as if they belonged to a distant, academic subject, to view them with the cool detachment of a scholar studying ancient texts. We are not abandoning the complexities of the world, far from it, but rather changing the geography of where we place our emotional investment. It is the quiet decision to accept the parameters of reality, acknowledging that some things simply will not change, and cultivating a profound, sustaining appreciation for the things we can choose right now. The quality of our breath, the kindness of our immediate response, the integrity of our chosen perspective. Chapter 2. The Art of Anticipation and Acceptance, Premeditatio Malorum. Our next gentle traversal leads us to a contemplative discipline known as *Premeditatio Malorum, the ancient, quiet habit of anticipating misfortune. This practice, which might appear, at first glance, to be a morbid exercise in worrying, unfolds in reality as an act of profound, foundational freedom. It is not dwelling in shadow, but rather charting the contours of deepest possibility in order to diminish the power of the unknown. To engage in this preparation is to build mental scaffolding around one's emotional life, anticipating not with panic, but with the measured calm of a cartographer charting volatile, yet predictable coastlines. When we gently consider the most challenging scenarios, the loss of routine, the deviation from expectation, the strain upon relationships, we are performing a unique kindness for our future selves. What we discover through this gentle act of visualization is not the source of fear, but the measure of our inherent resilience. By mentally running through scenarios, say, the unexpected professional setback, the disruption of a long-held domestic rhythm, the unavoidable physical fatigue that descends over the course of a long day, we strip them of their dramatic shock value. We are essentially giving ourselves a preliminary training in acceptance. We are saying, in the hushed whisper of our mind, if this were to happen, how would I navigate it? What small, verifiable actions can I take? This shifts the potential emotional collapse into a logistical problem, one that the rational mind is uniquely equipped to solve. Consider the specifics. Perhaps planning for a journey where the main train line is unexpectedly shut down for 72 hours, requiring a switch to local buses covering a 45-kilometer stretch. The initial frustration dissipates significantly when one has already mentally mapped out the alternative route, the local timetable, and the necessary substitutions. This mental rehearsal does not cultivate despair. Rather, it cultivates a quiet, practical competence. It solidifies the knowledge that while we cannot control the derailment, we always retain the capacity to formulate a plan B, C, or D, grounded in our own disciplined observation. Gently, we learn to view adversity not as an insurmountable calamity, but as a predictable gradient of effort. The initial, sharper spike of difficulty tends, over time, to level out into a manageable, continuous slope. By practicing this acceptance beforehand, we ensure that when the steep ascent finally begins, we are already equipped with the steady, measured rhythm of the seasoned walker. Chapter 3. The discipline of time and attention, Seneca's measure. As the daylight deepens, and the concerns of the day begin to soften into manageable memories, our focus drifts naturally to the magnificent, inexorable flow of time itself. Seneca, the profound observer of human nature and the swift passage of empires, offered us a meditation on how we often misuse the exquisite, non-renewable gift of our moments. This discipline does not mandate frenzy. It merely suggests a more aligned, more measured use of our awareness. The modern mind, for all its speed and access to information, often suffers from a profound sense of scattered attention, like a fishing net cast across 1,000 different, unconnected streams. We mistake the sheer volume of input for genuine productivity, confusing activity with achievement, and distraction with deep thought. Seneca gently reminds us that time is not merely a quantity, measured in linear progression from a moment to the next. It is a precious resource, intricately structured, measured by the depth of our focus and the deliberate quality of our engagement with the present. He urges us to consider how we are spending the first 15 minutes of our waking consciousness, for these initial moments set the trajectory for the next 12 hours. The practice here is the development of what Seneca might call a mental audit, a quiet, non-judgmental survey of where our attention has been spent over the last 8 hours, noting the gravitational pull of the ephemeral and the solid weight of true contemplation. We ask ourselves not to assign blame, but simply to gather data. How much of that time was spent in truly generative activity, the kind that nudges understanding? And how much was spent in the reactive, consuming spaces, the instantaneous judgment, the unexamined scroll, the repetitive habit of low-effort response? In this slow audit, we realize that the friction point is not our willpower, but our understanding of where our attention is so easily diverted. The goal is not to achieve a miraculous, unbroken stretch of perfect, profound concentration, a biological impossibility for any human being, but to reduce the *voluntary scatter, to create pockets of intensely focused presence. Imagine the sensation of deep focus, like standing before a vast, intricate piece of stained glass, where every single shard of light is accounted for, where the colors interact not by accident, but by deliberate, meticulous alignment. To spend 1 hour of focused time on a complex task becomes not only productive, but meditative, carving out a small, contained zone of perfect awareness. This understanding of time allows us to decouple our sense of self-worth from our daily output. Our value is not calibrated by the number of tasks checked off a list, nor by the rapid-fire pace of our technological connectivity. Our inherent worth is quiet, deep, and entirely steady, like the immutable rotation of the celestial spheres. Chapter 4, Embracing Impermanence, the River of Change. Across the deep currents of Stoic wisdom, we arrive at the profoundly challenging, yet most ultimately liberating concept, impermanence. Nothing, by its very nature, remains fixed. The perfect day, the comforting routine, the intensity of a personal feeling, the entire visible landscape, all are in a ceaseless, fluid state of becoming and unbecoming. This understanding, emphasized by the gentlest guidance of Marcus Aurelius, is arguably the most pivotal shift in our modern psychological landscape. If we cling to the permanence of a positive state, be it happiness, success, or a comfortable emotional equilibrium, we build a fragile structure, inevitably destined to falter when the river of change meets a point of restriction. The deep comfort comes from accepting the transient, from realizing that the very fluidity of existence is what constitutes its living nature. To meditate on impermanence is not merely to accept that things will end, but to celebrate the magnificent temporary quality of everything that currently exists. It is to look at the specific quality of the light filtering down right now, the particular shade of blue in the linen, the comfortable weight of the blanket, and recognize that this moment, in its entirety, is singular and non-repeatable. This realization lends a quiet urgency, but not a panicked one. It infuses the mundane details of the present with poetic significance. Because it will change, the cool air, the soft hum of the house, the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat, we are encouraged to absorb it fully. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly guided that we should view our lives as momentary plays, where every character, every setting, and every emotional crescendo exists only for the duration of the scene. The wisdom lies in the quality of the performance, the integrity of the experience, rather than the duration of its sustained perfection. When a difficult emotion arises, a passing wave of grief, a spike of anxiety, a frustration over injustice, the Stoic mind does not fight the intensity. Instead, it gently observes its cyclical nature. It views the emotion as a temporary weather pattern crossing the vast, unchanging sky of the self. The storm will pass. The clarity will return. The profound, melancholic sadness, like the morning fog, will eventually dissipate into translucent air. This steady, assured knowledge of natural ebb and flow becomes a powerful balm, rendering us less reactive, more accepting, and infinitely more at ease with the unpredictable beauty of being. Chapter 5, the daily practice of detachment, viewing from the distance. Maintaining this state of calm acceptance requires a daily, gentle recalibration, a kind of perpetual mental distance taking. We are learning to view our own emotional dramas and the dramas of others from the perspective of a quiet, ancient observer, detached yet deeply empathetic. This detachment is not indifference. Rather, it is clarity without emotional entanglement. Imagine pulling back a curtain slowly until you can view the entire scene of your life, your worries, your responsibilities, your relationships, from a great measured altitude. From that height, the acute details, the shouted arguments, the specific deadlines, begin to resemble the localized, ephemeral scattering of dust upon a much larger expanse. This visualization is profoundly helpful for managing what Seneca termed the anxieties of comparison. When we are caught within the immediate narrative of our own struggles, it is incredibly difficult to perceive the sheer magnitude of the shared human experience. We tend to believe that our current struggle is entirely unique, a solitary dramatic event. The practice detachment reveals the pattern, that the core struggles, the search for meaning, the pain of loss, the struggle against imperfection, are universal constants played out across millennia and cultures. We are not experiencing something singular, we are experiencing something deeply, fundamentally human. This shift in perspective diminishes the perceived stakes of daily disappointments. A missed deadline, an awkward conversation, a temporary setback, when viewed from a distance of, say, 10 years or even 10 decades, becomes a footnote, a gentle curve in the long, unfolding narrative of one's existence. Therefore, we train ourselves to pause before reacting. Before speaking, before committing to a feeling, we take a simulated step backward, adopting the posture of the detached philosopher. We allow the raw, immediate emotional surge, the reflexive anger, the piercing fear to crest and then subside, observed rather than experienced. This practice cultivates a durable sense of inner freedom. It is the knowledge that even if life presents moments of intense chaos, the inner core, the quiet, observing consciousness, remains reliably sovereign. It remains a steady, calm beacon amidst the swirling mist of obligation and desire. Chapter 6, the virtue of acknowledgement, gratitude in the small things. As our internal landscape grows quieter and our attention becomes more attuned to the subtle nuances of existence, a natural, beautiful discipline emerges, the practice of profound, detailed acknowledgement. This is the conscious act of noticing the gifts, the simple, often unnoticed foundations upon which our lives are built. Pause. To practice this acknowledgement is not simply to feel thankful. It is a sustained act of deep, thoughtful observation that reconnects us with the foundational reality of our existence. We are encouraged to look for the evidence of robust, inherent resilience in both ourselves and the world around us. Pause. Consider the ordinary function of breath, the reliable, tireless, rhythmic exchange of life force. Consider the dependable cycle of the seasons, the unwavering commitment of darkness to give way to the blush of dawn. These are not monumental events, yet they possess an extraordinary magnitude of dependable, quiet perfection. Pause. When we anchor ourselves to these foundational assurances, the reliable return of the light, the steady functioning of the body, we anchor our minds away from the frantic narratives of what, if, and what next. We root ourselves firmly in the solid, unquestionable is. Pause. This acknowledgement serves as a natural corrective to the human tendency toward magnificent exaggeration. A small, quiet grace, the temperature of a cup of tea, the texture of sunlight on an old wooden floor, the kindness of a passing stranger, becomes magnified by the practice of noticing it. Pause. By training ourselves to see the abundance in the minute detail, we build a reservoir of quiet strength. This steady pool of appreciation becomes our primary defense against anxiety and the creeping tyranny of discontentment. We learn to extract profound satisfaction from the fundamentally reliable. Conclusion. The cumulative effect of these disciplines, the strategic detachment, the focused observation of the is, and the consistent nurturing of baseline appreciation, is the cultivation of a deep, unshakable peace. It is a peace not found in external circumstances, but woven patiently within the structure of our own awareness. This is the art of living richly with what is, knowing that the quality of our experience is always tethered to the depth of our perception. The following text continues the philosophical discourse, expanding upon the principles of Stoic philosophy and contemplative living, deepening the exploration of self-mastery and its application to the messy reality of human existence. Chapter 7, The Ethics of Indifference and Active Benevolence. If the initial chapters focused on the architecture of the self, the internal citadel built against the storms of passion, then this section turns outward. We have learned to distinguish what is within our grasp, judgment, intention, assent, from what is external to it, the actions of others, the caprice of fate, the shifting economies of time. This is the virtue of apatheia, not apathy, but freedom from destructive emotional disturbance. It is indifference to outcomes that fall outside the sphere of one's will. But let us be profoundly clear. This emotional quiescence is not a call to mere passivity, nor is it a surrender to brute determinism. To mistake the quiet mind for the inert life would be a fundamental error. True freedom, the philosopher teaches, is not the power to change the physical world, but the enduring strength to react to inevitable change from a place of unflinching moral integrity. The ultimate test of this cultivated peace is the interaction with the unforeseen obstacle, the malicious indifference of another soul. It is here, in the arena of interpersonal friction, that the internal fortress must pass its deepest stress test. If we achieve genuine detachment from the result, if I invest my intelligence, my empathy, my focused action, and then release the desperate need to control the outcome, we unlock a form of energy previously wasted in anxiety and preemptive defense. This released energy is not wasted. It becomes the engine of true, active benevolence. The path from intellectual acceptance to outward action is bridged by what is often misunderstood as self-sacrifice. It is not a dampening of the self. It is the radical alignment of one's will with the broader, inescapable web of human necessity. To understand that I am, in essence, a node within a vast, interconnected system. A river that only functions by joining the greater ocean is the key to transcending egotistical frustration. The virtuous act, therefore, is predicated on the meticulous calculation of intent. It must not be performed to garner applause, to alleviate guilt, or to earn a reciprocal debt. It must be done because the recognition of a suffering being, an environmental decay, or an systemic flaw triggers a moral imperative that supersedes the temporary satisfaction of self-interest. This is the active beneficence that the practiced soul offers to the world, a pure, unattached outflow of virtue. Chapter 8, the discipline of attention and the economy of perception. If the first chapters concerned disciplined emotion and the next concerned disciplined action, this discipline is the management of the mind itself, the ultimate, most volatile resource. We speak here of the economy of perception. Consider the mind not as a boundless lake, but as a perfectly engineered, highly sophisticated mechanism of intake. Every passing thought, every fleeting image seen in the corner of the eye, every overheard fragment of gossip, every piece of curated, inflammatory digital content, they are all inputs. And every input, left unchecked, consumes minute amounts of cognitive energy, polluting the serene waters of pure judgment. The highest form of intellectual discipline, therefore, is the rigorous, almost surgical selection of the things we allow attention to attach to. Attention is the greatest commodity of the modern age, hoarded by the few and spent ceaselessly by the many on the shadows of triviality. The cultivated mind learns to spot the subtle thief, the habit of asterisk rumination. Rumination is the act of perpetually turning over a past mistake, a perceived slight, or an unfulfilled desire, like a worm trapped in an overly ornate, overly detailed piece of machinery. It is psychologically exhausting because you are forcing the mind to process information that has no bearing on the present moment's necessary action. It is perpetually revisiting the theater of the asterisk, if only. The master of the self does not simply asterisk wish to stop worrying. He practices the art of the conscious redirection. When the insidious current of regret attempts to pull him back into that familiar, warm undertow, he must intercept it. He must visualize the thread of the thought, trace it back to its origin, and declare, not with anger, but with absolute finality. This is observed and consequently released. This discipline requires patience of geological time. It is like retraining a muscle that has atrophied from overuse of fleeting distraction. It is the acknowledgement that true clarity is not a sudden revelation, but the gradual removal of unnecessary mental clutter, allowing the signal of truth to resonate above the static of the mundane. Chapter 9, the mortality principle and the urgency of contemplation. We approach now the precipice of the most profound and often most resisted philosophical tool, the contemplation of mortality. Memento mori asterisk. To many, this concept sounds like a morbid invitation to despair. To the trained soul, however, it is perceived as the supreme clarifying agent, the ultimate antidote to procrastination, vanity, and pointless ambition. To live under the perpetual illusion of perpetuity is to waste the precious, non-renewable currency of existence. We treat time as an infinitely elastic resource, believing ourselves to operate on a cosmic timetable that will afford us tomorrow. And because we believe this, we delay the difficult, beautiful, necessary work of building the self, of loving deeply, of writing the book, of apologizing sincerely. Mortality is not a warning to succumb to despair. It is an alarm bell rung in the face of complacency. It forces an unforgiving, elegant reckoning. Given that the curtain will eventually fall, where must I focus my light right now? The genuine contemplation of death is therefore nothing less than an ecstatic acceleration toward the present. It is the realization that the only life we truly own is the one ticking by in the moment between breath in and breath out. Everything that matters, the integrity of one's character, the depth of one's attention paid to a loved one, the simple act of observation, must be addressed with the urgency accorded to a final opportunity. This contemplation does not promote reckless abandon. It promotes exquisite discipline asterisk. It strips away the trivial scaffolding of accumulated, meaningless habits. It compels one to ask, repeatedly, if this interaction, this purchase, this prolonged attachment cannot pass the final audit of my character when I stand before my own end, then why do I continue it? The disciplined contemplation of asterisk memento mori thus becomes the ultimate mechanism for maximizing the qualitative density of one's life, ensuring that the energy of one's passing years is not dispersed across 1,000 petty anxieties, but rather focused into a few indelible moments of genuine meaning. Epilogue, the practice of being. The comprehensive philosophical life is not a series of isolated intellectual achievements. It is not conquering anger one day and accepting fate the next. It is the continuous, ceaseless practice of synthesis. The journey is cyclical. We must first achieve the asterisk emotional stillness, apatheia, to observe the current of life with clarity. This stillness allows us to recognize the asterisk triviality of our attachments, attention economy of perception. That recognition of triviality, faced against the backdrop of asterisk finite time, memento mori, motivates us toward active benevolence, ethical action. The life well lived, therefore, is one characterized by a deep, quiet friction, the friction between what is emotionally easy and what is rationally, morally required. To be a philosopher, in this ultimate sense, is simply to commit to the art of ceaseless attention. Attention to one's judgments, attention to one's intentions, and attention to the singular, irreplaceable grace of the now. And in that sustained, difficult, breathtaking act of simply paying attention asterisk, there lies the entirety of freedom, the entirety of peace, and the deepest wisdom of the enduring human heart.